Welcome back, and today we're gonna be talking about in slash Spectre episode 3. So, like always, let's just jump into it. Okay, so episode 3 pretty much leaves off exactly where episode 2 left. And if you saw my last video, I didn't think it was that good. I absolutely hated the whole murder mystery thing. It was just not for me. Like, the first episode, the beginning part, it was not for me either. It wasn't until the end that we see, Kuro freaking, let the demon eat the arm and he regrows it. And, we find out that he's more what he actually is. So from that perspective, I did like episode 1, and then episode 2 started with this whole murder mystery thing. And again, the characters that were involved, I at least didn't care. Like, who are they? They're not really part of the story, right? And you can see from episode 3, they kind of completed that whole murder mystery. They pretty much said everything that was plausible. The lady that committed the murder pretty much killed the guy because not only did he frame her husband, but she was pregnant at the time. And I'm guessing, she pretty much had the baby or took out the fetus and threw it in the lake. And this was years ago. So of course that thing is dead. But so she blamed the guy that framed her husband, and that's why she killed him. And I just didn't care about that whole storyline. Like, why did we have to waste a whole episode and almost half of the other episode for characters that were not even introduced or had anything to do with the main characters in this anime? Now, episode 3, like the second half of episode 3, once they got done with the whole the snake and we're trying to make the snake happy, blah blah blah, all that BS, it actually got interested again, because we see that we find out what's the name, the steel lady, Nanase. She's like a spirit, and she appears in this street. And it's all over the city, so she just comes out whenever she wants, I'm guessing. And she causes like traffic incidents where people, see like a lady standing right there and they swerve and, they get hurt or they die. They really didn't say if the victims, if there was any death involved or anything, but they knew it was a problem, right? Like, 'cause it's not the first incident. And rumors were spreading that it was a ghost of like an idol that died due to like a beam falling on her. So she's coming back. I guess she's like a vengeful spirit, so she's killing people, or she's trying to kill people. Now, the second half of the episode, when the police officers were talking, I don't know if people actually caught it, but that was what's his name, Kuro's ex-girlfriend. And I didn't realize that was her, because again, later in the episode, Kotoko kind of makes a little like gesture at her, like saying, "Oh, you cut your hair and you lost some weight," kind of saying that she was kind of fat maybe. And she was not. She was fine in episode 1 when we met her. Of course, she had the longer hair, so maybe that's why it threw me off, just a different hairstyle. But we also see a flashback of why she's afraid of Kuro. So pretty much it was just like, washing the dishes, and he cuts his hand, and she sees that, he heals himself. And now I don't know why that would kind of freak somebody out. Like, yeah, it would freak me out if that happened in real life, but I wouldn't be scared of a person because of that, right? Like, I don't know. I don't know how I would react, but I think she overreacted a little bit. Now, there was another part, another flashback where like the little turtle or demon or yokai, whatever you want to call these sea people or turtles or whatever they are, and he pretty much said, "You humans are terrifying, especially that guy Kuro, because he consumes anything and he'll do anything with anybody." And at that point is when she pretty much just cuts it all off, and she's really afraid of him. And she, decides that he's probably not the right person to be with. And again, I'm like, let me get this straight, girl. You see a little demon or turtle or whatever that thing was come out and be afraid of your boyfriend, and you're worried not about the monster that just came out of the freaking lake or sewer or whatever, but you're worried about your boyfriend that you've been with for years, if months or whatever, how long they've been. And he's a nice guy. I don't think yet we have gotten a reason why we need to be afraid of him. I think it's actually a good guy, and he's one of the main characters, unless some like big plot twist happens later on in the episode or the season where we find out that he's actually the bad guy, and there's a reason why all these spirits and yokais and demons and all that are afraid of him. Maybe she has a good reason. We don't know yet, and we might find out. But right now, I think she just overreacted big time. So we'll see where that relationship is gonna head. And Kotoko and Yumihara, they actually met in this episode. And again, Kotoko was being funny, saying, "Oh, I shouldn't have saved you. Like if I would have known you were my boyfriend, her self-proclaimed boyfriend. If I would have known you were his ex-girlfriend, I wouldn't have saved you." I'm like, girl, you crazy. Like, are you really that petty where you're not gonna save somebody because she's your self-proclaimed boyfriend? She was his ex-girlfriend. I'm not gonna question her motives, but that to me was crazy. Okay, we have two crazy ladies right here, and is that gonna be like the love triangle between the two, between Yamahara, Kotoko, and Kuro? Is there gonna be like a love triangle there? Because now we know that Yumihara knows about the spirits. She confirmed that they're real. She confirmed that once, whenever that turtle guy started, talking smack about her ex-boyfriend, and then this second time, she pretty much just saw the spirit right there in front of her. And again, I will say this lady, she deserves some points, okay? Because she straight up saw Kotoko pretty much being like thrown around for like a second, like as soon as they met. It's not like Kotoko struggled or anything. Kotoko can put up a fight. But Yumihara was pretty much like rushed the ghost trying to fight it. And she got some moves too. Now, sadly, she threw a punch and it just went through the ghost. So she was just useless. I guess her only purpose for being there was to catch Kotoko the twice, 2 times that she actually caught her. I think that was the only purpose for her being here. And again, Yumihara, I think she's trying to use her police powers to bring Kotoko in. Now, she did say she wasn't going to report anything of what happened, and of course, who's gonna believe her, right? Like the police that was talking to Yumihara earlier in the episode was like, you don't believe none of this stuff, right? Like, come on, it's not real. And Yamahara stood her ground and said, you might want to start believing, because if you don't, you're pretty much gonna get smacked later on. And she has a point. I think as the episodes go on, there's gonna be more like spirit activity or more dangerous demons coming through, and of course Kuro is gonna be the one taking them out. Yes, Kotoko can kind of throw a couple punches here and there, but I think mainly she's gonna play like the negotiator or like the support character there. Now I don't know if Yumihara is gonna get like a legit role within the group. I think she's gonna be like the love triangle or the love interest. Now I will say, the one vibe I get from Kuro, like he really doesn't give a crap about anything, right? Like you could say he cares about Kotoko because he did go to the mountain to try to make sure she was safe and all that, but like his regular human ex-girlfriend that broke up with him, we didn't really see like an emotional side to him when that happened. Maybe the second yokai that he ate kind of like took all the feelings away, like all the emotional feelings like love and all that. I mean, this is some crazy theories I'm throwing in right now, but that could be the case. We still don't know what demon was that he ate, so we're probably gonna find out in the later episodes. Now overall, the one thing I gotta give this anime is definitely the animation and the art. Not so much the animation, because I mean the fight today, it wasn't really like animation heavy and great like we see in other animes like My Hero Academia with like the last episodes. But it was okay for this kind of like low budget anime, I would say. I don't think they put a lot of resources into this. But overall, the art, you gotta give it to them though. Like, look at this background behind me. It looks sick as hell. It's great. I definitely love the art. So I'm actually gonna stick with this anime. I'm hoping that the later episodes don't deal with the BS that we had to deal with, like the episode with the murder mystery thing, and then half of this episode. I hope they take more like a serious note and don't introduce these episodes that really doesn't bring anything to the story as far as our main characters. So overall, I like this episode a lot better than I did episode 2. Definitely can't wait for episode 4. I think some stuff is about to go down. So like always, go ahead and subscribe, leave me a like. Let me know what you thought of this episode, what animes you're watching for winter 2020, and I will see you on the next episode.